MeannaDK checking in once again. And
it's just me and my disciples. Talking to God while we smoke dope. We keep the lighter in our circle.
What's up, y'all? How you doing? I know it's been a few days, okay? But listen, I just needed a break, you know? I'm gonna tag a few people who I think would benefit from this particular live. Either young mothers or people with young kids. And what happened was, check this out, boom. I got an inbox message from a Facebook friend. And let me turn this down a little bit. And so I get an inbox from a Facebook friend. And she requested that I do a specific live. She's having a problem in her home. And so she asked me, she said, Mianna, here's what I want you to talk about. And when she said it, I was like, oh snap, okay. Yeah, we could do this, right? What's up, Adia? What's up, Samantha? What's up, Denisha? Okay, so I do have a special guest for the live today. Let me adjust the lighting because my baby is melaninly blessed. And okay, so the live. Oh, Adia said, "Where's my brown sugar?" That's you.
Oh, hi. I didn't know.
Okay, so you guys know this is my baby Kimia, and so the question on the inbox was, well, she gave me what happened. What happened is she has a daughter. Her daughter is 13, and she said that the daughter went to her husband, the father, and said that she might be interested in girls, okay? And she said the father kind of like threw the Bible at her, right? Was like, listen, God said, whoop-de whoop-de-bam, right? So the mom is inboxing me because the mom is like, I need help. I need to know what to do. What do I do for my daughter, right? What?
Never mind.
Say it.
No, I don't understand Facebook. I just saw something. Never mind.
Oh, okay. So,
This app's rolled.
anyways, she's like, I need help. I need to know how to help my daughter. Her opinion is that she wants her daughter to be happy. She wants her daughter to live her best life. She wants her daughter to love who she wants to love, right? At the same time, she does not want to discount what her dad told her, because she doesn't want any like division in her home, which is okay as well, right? So she came to me like, hey, can you go live about this and see what other parents would do in the same situation? So I, in my less than infinite wisdom, it's not always infinite. Sometimes though, it's sometimes wisdom. Sometimes it's just infinite. Okay, so look. So I go to Kimia and I say, Kimia, this is what this lady dropped in my inbox. Kimia is now here because we might as well get a teen's perspective, and we got a little bit of insight on the situation, okay? Now, the first thing that I want to say is Kimia is here of her own free will. Kimia, did I make you come on the live?
No.
Okay. Kimia decided that she would come on the live so that hopefully she can give the parents a little bit of perspective of what their children may be going through, and a little bit of perspective of what kids may need from parents. Now, I am not saying that my daughter is the end all beat all of kids. I'm not saying that my daughter speaks for all 16 and under. I'm not saying that my daughter is, the Pope of kids. But I am saying that she has a perspective that is not easy all the time to share, even for me as a parent, because no one wants to be judged for how they parent their children. No one wants to be judged for whatever the fuck, right? Verge, actually this was a request from an inbox, So we're gonna address her issue first, and then after that we'll bring people on. Okay. So she wants to talk, and she's gonna give her point of view, and then I'm gonna tell it from a parent's point of view and from my experience, and then we'll talk about how these two things meet in the middle, and maybe hopefully we can help you all glean some information that would help the parents that are raising teens. Okay. All right, baby, go ahead, do your thing.
Well, I kind of had the same experience because last year I had a girlfriend. It wasn't different because I never really liked the girl before, but like I liked her. So the girl ended up telling me that she liked me back. So, you know, and we were already friends prior, so we didn't go through no talking stage or none of that. But I kept it from my mom for like about a month. I kept it from my mom. Only reason why I did is because I didn't feel like she was gonna like give me an understanding like reaction, because there was a conversation a few years prior, so I just wasn't comfortable. And it's like when you're a teenager and you have, especially if you have a religious based family, it's like a fear of disappointment. And because the new wave that kids are hopping on is becoming bisexual, becoming gay, and so it's like hard for you to tell like who really is, who really isn't. So it's like you don't want to be taken as a joke as well. When you go to your parents, obviously my mom was understanding of it. I was just scared because it was like a fear of disappointment, and it was like I didn't know how her reaction would be towards it. I didn't know if she was gonna like be disappointed. I didn't know if she was gonna get angry at me. I didn't know what was gonna happen. And it's like when you want to tell your parents something like that's going on in your life, and you're just like confused as to how you should bring it up, you just keep it to yourself, because it's like you don't want to go through the whole process. You're scared to do that. And the reason the way my mom found out, I didn't tell her. It was kind of like drawn out, because I'm just like her in a sense. Like I don't tell people nothing. Like she had to like continuously ask questions and pull little bits and pieces, and then she was like, "So you either like a girl or you have a girlfriend?" And I was just like, "I have a girlfriend." And so we went through that like whole little moment, and I was just like, a little moment. It was a little moment.
It was not little, first of all.
Okay, it wasn't little.
Put some respect on the moment.
It wasn't little, but we had a moment, and it was just like, okay, now I know, like, now I already knew she was an understanding parent, but it was like, okay, now I know that I can for real, you know, not be scared to tell her anything. So,
because that's Kiara in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
okay.
follow him,
Okay.
That's
cool.
So it was like, okay, now I know, but I kind of see where the girl was like coming from. Should I like tell her?
You can tell whatever you want.
She should do.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. And for your daughter, I honestly would just say like find a time and just set aside and just talk to her about it, because I don't know, I've never had a husband before, so what I would say is when you go and talk to her, just be like, I'm not disagreeing with what your father is saying, because the Bible does say you're not supposed to, you know, be gay or like the same sex, but I in the end also want you to be happy, because the Bible does say that you're not supposed to be gay or affiliated with the same sex, but it also says don't judge people who are. So it also says don't judge people who are. So when you go to your daughter, just let her talk, let her talk, let her say her like what she was going through, like ask her about like the process, how she eventually came to, okay, maybe I like girls. Because if you just let her talk about it, and let her feel like she can come and talk to you when she's having a problem or a situation with that, she'll eventually be more comfortable, and she won't feel like a black sheep. Like, she won't feel different from the rest of the people in the house. Yeah, she won't feel like she has to just constantly keep stuff to herself, like she can't talk to nobody, because although your friends can help, it's like at the end of the day, you still need an adult's perspective, an adult's look on it, because they're adults, they've already been through it. So yeah,
that's all you. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this: when you were struggling with if you like this girl, okay. So let me give my perspective of what she just said. Okay. Okay. So picture is Sicily, 2018, September. Okay. I'm sitting here talking to my daughter. I don't know what the fuck we were talking about, but we was just shooting the shit. However, I noticed she was being a little evasive with some of the questions, right? So because I noticed she was being evasive, I decided to poke and prod, because that's what I do. So I kind of felt like, is my kid liking girls? Is she liking girls, right? Not, oh my God, is my kid liking girls? But is my kid liking girls? So I asked her, you can let her in, because she's going to be loud as hell if you don't. So I asked her, so do you like a girl, or do you have a girlfriend? Which one, right? Because I knew it was something. It's never nothing, right? So Kimia is like, I got a girlfriend. Well, blow me down. What? Yeah, Mom, I got a girlfriend. Her name's Diana. And we've been going steady for about a month. So I'm like, wait a minute. This is a whole life-altering decision that you've made, and I didn't even know. Like, I felt so blindsided by the whole shit. You understand what I'm saying? Not because she liked girls. Who gives a shit? It's because she didn't feel like she could talk to me. She told me that she struggled all summer with if she liked this girl or not. All summer? So you are battling inside your heart all summer? And I didn't know that you was walking around with that? What parent wants to hear that their kid is walking around with that kind of worry or stress, right? Because you automatically feel like, well, what did I do as a mom to make you feel like you couldn't come to me, right? But then she told me exactly what I did. She referred to a conversation that had happened a couple years prior where I said, just mentioning in passing, it didn't have anything to do with anything. I said, I don't think kids should be making any kind of decision about sexuality, whether it's straight, gay, bi, whatever. I just don't think that's a decision a kid should have to make, right? I didn't know, but she took that to mean I don't feel like she could be deciding what the hell she wants as a person. And so parents, we have to watch the things that we say in front of our children. Even if we're saying it in passing, even if we're joking, even if we're saying it in jest, right? Because what happened was that same shit that I was just saying without thought was the reason why my daughter neglected to tell me that she was struggling with liking a girl. Do you understand what I'm saying? So while I'm thinking, well, kid, I know I provide a safe space. Nah, I said some shit that wasn't safe. And she no longer felt safe by me. Kimia is 15. So I apologized to her for making her feel like she couldn't come to me. Your face is cut off, pretty girl.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I apologize for making her feel like she couldn't come to me. I apologize for what I said, and I let her know that I did say that, but that didn't mean you. Like, sometimes we say shit because that's how we feel generally, but that don't mean that we feel like that if it come to our kids, right? So I had to explain to her that if it's her, she can come to me, you know? So, tell us how that experience worked out.
Like how the whole situation did?
Yeah.
Oh, I came to the conclusion that I don't like girls. The relationship, well, I can't even really call it that, but it was cool. Like in the first month or whatever, it was cool. Like we would always see each other at school, you know, at lunch together, hanging out with our friends. Like our friends, they didn't mind it. Like we weren't like the type to just start making out, or the type to just be like, oh man, this and that. Like we weren't like that. But like we were together for 3 months, but she didn't come to school for like 2 months. And
tell them why. Oh, you don't want to have to tell her business.
No, I am, but not yet.
Okay.
She didn't come to school for 2 months, and at the time, I wasn't really like educated in like what relationships consisted of. So basically I was like, oh my god, like this is my happiness, this and that. So when she wasn't at school, mind you, I was like texting her like, where are you, like what's wrong, and I wouldn't get no reply. Like she just wouldn't talk to me, none of that. So it was like, okay, like it just put me in a very like different headspace, like a different mental state, and like I just wasn't the same person that I already knew I was. And so with that, like my grades started dropping and all that. So I was just like, oh no, I can't do that. So she came back to school and she was like, oh, I wasn't in contact with you because I told my parents that I liked girls, and I told them I had a girlfriend, and they basically told me I couldn't talk to you. So they would like look at her phone to make sure that she wasn't texting me or none of that, because she wasn't allowed to talk to me at all. So I was just like, dang, I obviously was understanding, but I also told her, because me and my mom had talked about it, and she was like, even though you don't want to, you're gonna have to break up with her because it's not fair to you. So I was just like, you're right. And so I talked to her about it, and she was like, I was gonna say the same thing, because I just didn't handle the situation correctly. And I was just like, okay. So we did end up breaking up, but we're still friends now. And
does she still deal with girls?
Yeah, she does. She hasn't had another girlfriend, but she still likes girls and stuff. I just realized it wasn't for me, to be honest. Girls are too much. But
I definitely agree. They're a lot.
And with the conversation as to why I couldn't tell my mom, it was because what I took from the conversation was excuse me. What I took from the conversation was, she was like, these are the only words I remember, which is why I didn't think I could be open with her. She said, I think you guys are too young to decide like what your sexuality should be. I don't want you being gay, this and that. So I was just like, yeah,
I said that?
Yeah. You were like, I don't want you being gay. I don't want you coming to me telling me you like girls because you're too young. So when I started liking girls, when I was starting to think about it, I didn't think I could tell her, because she was like, I'm too young. I don't know, basically like, I don't know what liking girls is. I don't know what the whole shebang with that was. So I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna tell her, because she's not gonna be accepting of it. So then when I got the girlfriend, I was just like, dang, like now I gotta keep it from her. And me and my mom have an open relationship, so it was like the first thing that I really like kept from her. It affected me, because it was like I needed an adult's perspective, but like she was the only adult in my life that kind of like knew what to do with that. And I was like, dang, like I can't even talk to her about it, even though I wanted to. And it was like, I don't know why it affected me so badly. Like I couldn't sleep correctly.
Really?
Yeah, like
you didn't tell me none of this.
I know, but because it was over with. But like I couldn't sleep correctly. I was like, dang, like what if she finds out? Like, oh my goodness. So like I would kind of like try and like make her find out her own way, which is why she was my wallpaper, but she didn't pick up. So I was just like, never mind.
So I'm definitely just finding this part out. Okay. Okay. I do not remember telling her that I did not want her to come home and tell me she liked girls. Okay. I don't remember telling her that. But if she say I told her that, then that's what the fuck I told her, okay? So here's what I said to her. I said, listen, I've never raised a kid before. That's at the time she was 14. I've never raised a 14-year-old, okay? This is my first time. So I'm gonna make some mistakes. That was definitely a mistake. It was a wrong move. Because what's true is, we say that these kids are too young to make decisions about their sexuality. But what's true is, we are basing that based on when we were 14 and 15. When we were 14 and 15, we still had to look shit up in the dictionary, guys. We still had the Encyclopedia Britannica, and we did not have the internet. Maybe some people did. I didn't. Most people didn't have the internet.
Encyclopedia.
Encyclopedia is like Google, but it was in books.
Oh, it's like the dictionary.
No.
The
encyclopedia is about research. You can find out about the world in an encyclopedia. A dictionary just gives you definition of words.
Okay.
So you guys have Google, but we had an encyclopedia, right? So we had to still look shit up, right? If we wanted to access porn, we had to find a magazine or a VHS tape, and then when we finally got older, we could find some DVDs, some porn DVDs, right? So I love this. Thank you. So now though, in 2019, kids as young as 11 and 12, they have cell phones. They can access porn whenever they want. It doesn't matter what kind of parental blocks or controls you have on your phone. They can find that shit, okay? They're smarter than us, guys. They are not learning the internet as an adult. They're learning it as a child, where their brains work better and faster. So, these kids have access to porn, which basically desensitizes them to sex. Sex is not as valuable as it was when we were coming up and taught certain things, and then we couldn't verify it, right? Right now in 2019, you can tell a kid something and they can Google it right now and prove that you're a liar. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't have the ability just to tell your kid some shit and your kid believe it just because it came out of your mouth. It's not true, guys. I'm sorry. We got to give it up. So when we were 15, we didn't have access to nearly any of the stuff that these children have access to. And we think that they don't have the ability to make a decision for their lives with all of the information that they have available. Come on. We got to do better. So like, some of us didn't find out that we liked girls until we were in our 20s. Some of us 30s. I didn't start dabbling with women until I was 33. Okay? So some of us coming into it late are having to have our lives catch up to where we are now, figure out what's going on with us so that we can make an effective decision. These kids don't have all of that to worry about. They don't have baggage from being 20 years with a man and then kind of figuring out that you might like coochie. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's a lot to unpack. These kids don't have that. They don't got to unpack shit. They're learning as they go. And they have access. They have access to unlimited knowledge at this point. Oh, while I'm talking, can y'all share this live on y'all's page? I believe every parent can benefit from what we're talking about right now. That's just all I'm saying. So anyway, they have access to more so they can make more calculated decisions for their lives. Whether we agree with it or not, parents, these kids are making the decisions. You don't want to talk to your kids about sex? I promise you somebody is. If I'm not talking to her about sex, her friends are. Do I want her to learn about sex from her friends? Or porn? Or Google? Or R&B? Or hip hop? Or do I want her to learn about it from me? Do you think it's real taboo? Because wouldn't you guys have benefited from having a more constructive dialogue with y'all's parents? So what I'm saying is, if your kid come bring you some information that you're not looking for, if your kids bring you some information that you're not ready to receive, if your kids bring you information that you don't want to receive, it will behoove you to listen to what the fuck they're saying. Secondly, if you heard my baby, she said the reason why she didn't come to me was because a whole year prior, she heard me say something that deterred her. She heard me make a fucking joke. I told her, she says I told her, she bet not come to me. and say that she like girls. She better not come to me and say she got a girlfriend, right? I could have been joking, but she heard that as truth. That became truth to her. So when she started struggling in her own personal life, she didn't come to me. She didn't feel like she could because I made a joke. Did I think that it would prevent my daughter from coming to me when she was struggling? Nah. But to her, she's a child. She don't have the ability to think, well, maybe she was just joking. No, for her, she think, my mom said I better not come to her, so I better hide it. If your children hear you joking about certain things, they're going to take that as your word. So if you make gay jokes around your kids, if you say that's gay in front of your kids, if you make homophobic and transphobic jokes around your kids and your kids are struggling, this is proof that they won't come talk to you. They're not. No matter how many trips you take your kids on, no matter how many times you say you love them. How many times a day do I tell you I love you?
I don't know, but say it every day.
Every day. At least every day I'm telling my kid I love her. So she knows I love her. But that don't have shit to do with if she feels comfortable talking to me or not. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we got to do better as parents and grown-ups. So because all of us are not parents, but I bet you all of us have a niece or a nephew, or all of us have an ally. And we got to be careful the example that we're giving to our kids. There's nothing wrong with telling your kids what the word of God says. There is something wrong if you're not also coupling that with nourishment and encouragement. Is something wrong with it if you're making your kids feel like you're not a safe space? Because the same Bible that you're throwing at them is the Bible that tells you to be an example for your kids. Just like it tells kids to honor their parents. It says, parents, don't provoke your children to wrath. Don't provoke your children to anger. We have a responsibility as well, right? So I fucked up by making that statement in front of her. She then took that as, I can't tell my mom. Now we're better, okay, right? So as she's telling me that she like girls, I'm like, okay, so like which kind do you like, right? Do you like the ones that are more feminine, or do you like the ones that are more masculine? Because
studs or femmes.
Studs or femmes, right? She says she likes the more masculine. Studs. She likes studs, right? Now listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. As a parent, I felt good about that. Okay? I did.
I don't know.
I didn't want you to be masculine because I see the issues that I go through just being like a masculine presenting type woman. There are different issues that I have to deal with, so I just didn't want you to have to deal with that.
Even if I did like femmes, I wouldn't become masculine. They're like femmes. I don't think that's
Okay. So, to the woman that wrote the inbox, the best advice that Kimmy and I can give you is to your husband gave your daughter what he had to give. If he threw the Bible at her, I promise you he did it because he didn't have anything else available. Sometimes, especially when a person is raised in the church, they don't have anything else available other than what they're taught. So he can only regurgitate that which he's taken in. If he's never been taught to be understanding, how is he going to be? Do you understand what I'm saying? So he's giving her what he has to give as a man. So now you as the mom, you need to give her that nourishment, that encouragement that she's going to need because she sees what it's going to be like with her dad. Her dad's a pastor. Okay, I get it, right? But that doesn't make her less of his daughter.
And that's not.
Go ahead. No, talk freely.
And I don't feel like that should be used as an excuse. Like, okay, you're a preacher, but you as a preacher of all people should know that's not the only sin that's out there. And even though he threw the Bible out, it was like, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that, which is all true. Like, you're not supposed to, but people forget, especially Christians and people of certain religions, they forget the Bible says that, but it also says you're not supposed to judge and you're not supposed to belittle the people that are. You're supposed to befriend them, and you can educate them if you want, but don't do it to where you make them feel bad, because then that's also wrongdoing.
You crossing the line with that.
Yeah.
So it's best really just to mind your fucking business, right? First. But if it's your kid though, it's best to be encouraging to your children so that the lines of communication remain open. Because the worst thing in the world is to lose your kid because of something that they're doing that's not even going to affect you personally, in your personal life. What your kid does with their own bodies is them. It's not you. It's not even a reflection of you as a parent. So it's like, we tend to put our shit on our kids sometimes, right? And we have to always think like they're coming up in a generation that is not taught, they're not beat over the head with anything. They're taught to think freely. You know how the Bible said knowledge would increase in the last days or whatever? Okay, knowledge has increased. These kids have access to all the knowledge that they need to make an informed decision. And we tend to think that they don't simply because we're older. But we don't even have the same knowledge that they do. We have wisdom, which is supposed to guide them in order to make the right decisions to be okay. Guide them, not push them to do your will. It's not your will over their life, right? What they do with their bodies is their own business. And it's hard to accept that as a parent because you're responsible for them, right? You're responsible for their person. You are not accountable for their bodies though. You don't get to be that, right? You don't get that command over them because who the fuck are you? You understand what I'm saying? And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I mean that in the way that it should come across so you can understand that you fucking up if you acting like this with your kids. Because what's true is, all you're gonna do when you come at your kids that way is convince them to hide more shit from you. They're just gonna become good liars and manipulators, guys. Yeah. They are already good manipulators. Kids learn how to manipulate out the womb. A 6-month-old knows that if they cry long enough, the mama's gonna pick them up. So then they stop crying once they get picked up. So now they cry for everything, even when something is not wrong, simply because they want to be picked up. They control you now, these little people, right? So they know how to manipulate you from jump. You mean to tell me that you don't think your teenager can do whatever they want to do without the fuck you knowing about it? Because you're wrong if you think it. Was you gonna say something? Go ahead.
Oh wait. Oh yeah. Okay. And it's like when you like do that kind of thing, it's like it's not like we're not gonna talk to our friends about it. Like all of us know like, oh yeah, my mom said this, my dad did that. And it's like the way we take it, it's like, oh yeah, like I know how that feels, this and that. And I was just like, and when she was saying that, I was thinking about it. And I forgot. My head itching.
Y'all
right.
like that color?
Right.
Y'all like that color?
Dang.
You like that color?
Get off me.
Okay.
You made me forget it. I just had it. Right. Parents love to use the oh yeah, I've been your age before, so I already know. Here's what's wrong with that saying. This is a whole different and new and more open generation. Like, we understand you've been our age, which is why we're not opposed to anything you're trying to tell us. But it's like this, like, depending on the situation, it's like certain things. It's like, what are you talking about? That's not even how it is anymore. And it's like, I've been your age. I know what you're trying to do. I know this is that. When that's really not even our intent in the first place. And then it makes us feel like, oh, so she's not gonna let me say my side. She's not gonna let me, or he or she is not gonna let me like express what it really is. So I might as well not even say anything. Like, these are conversations that I have experienced with my friends before. It's like, well, no, because then she's gonna talk about going to, oh, I've been your age before, or I already know how that feels. When really, it's like different kids take it different ways. Different kids aren't always gonna go into the same path. So it's like, okay, let me not, because I just want to avoid that whole little conversation to begin with. That's another thing. Yeah.
How many of us hate to feel like we can't express ourselves because we already know what the other person is going to think? Now imagine your kid feeling that way about you. That's some bullshit. I don't ever want my child to feel that way about. Have you ever felt that way about me? Ever?
I mean, yeah, because I can relate to the conversation that I had with my friends, but I mean, obviously not anymore. Because you don't use it with me anymore. You use it with Kyla and Kara, so I'm good. Sorry. I mean, I've had that conversation with Kyla and Kara too.
Oh, so y'all all having a conversation about me? Okay. Well, you see what's going on here. So people, you guys that are still on the live, is there anything that Kimia has said that you don't agree with? Or is there anything that Kimia has said that you feel might be different in your situation? Like you don't handle things the way I do. And that's cool. And also, hey, feel free to judge me. I'm open for judgment on how I parent. You can judge me. It's not going to affect me. I like the situation with my kid. I like our relationship. I like the relationship with Kyla, and I like the relationship with Kara. I like the relationship I have with my children. They're all very different. They are not the same. Okay? What Kimia needs, Kyla doesn't need. And what Kyla needs, Kara doesn't need. And what Kara needs, Kimia doesn't need. They are all very different, okay? But I enjoy my relationship with each of my children. And so I'm comfortable that we are doing what works for us. Can we agree with that?
Yeah.
What
was that?
What was that?
What are you doing?
I'm comfortable that we are doing what we need to do and what works for us. And so, Sherry Berry.
Oh, hey girl.
Oh, okay. And so, I'm open. You can judge me, but this is how I parent mine. Okay? I parent mine to be open to tell me what works for them, and then I'll tell them what works for me, and then we meet in the middle most of the time. Sometimes we just can't do what works for them. It's about what works for me. But a lot of the time, yes, ask a real question. Raven wants to ask a real question. Mm-hmm. Please ask a real question.
I like these conversations because I like talking in the first place. So,
Kimia says she likes these conversations because she like talking. Yeah, she saw a man as your profile.
I know.
She was like, "Who's that?" She said, I can relate to that. Each child is different. Yes, they are very different. Let me explain something else. It takes a lot to parent these kids and still find time to be a functional ass adult, right? They take a lot. They require a lot. That's not even a want. No, they require a lot if you want them to be productive members of society.
Okay, is it like generally, that question is it like generally like how, actually you can say, I don't know.
Sherry said, what's the topic? We just talking about like teen shit. I got an inbox from someone who said that their 13-year-old daughter thinks that she likes girls, and that the 13-year-old daughter went to the dad, who's a pastor. The dad is like, all I got is the Bible for you, right? Throws the Bible at her, like, this is what God said. And the girl obviously is discouraged. So now the mom is asking, like, what she should do, what she can do for her daughter, because she wants her daughter to be, comfortable or whatever, So, okay, Raven says, was she into girls on her own, or did your relationships make her wonder? Ooh.
No.
Ooh.
My mom's personal life was her personal life. When it comes to like people that she dates or is into, it never really had an influence on me. It was just like, oh, okay, girl, like, you do what you want to do. That's cool. Me liking girls had nothing to do with my mom. It was just the girl that I was interested in. Oh my God, that's why I ain't got no light. It's you.
Well, you ain't got no what?
Light. As soon as you left, my melanin was cool. Okay, anyways. I was into that. See, it's the shadow.
She looked good when I get out the frame. Okay, go ahead. I was
interested. You ain't gotta do that. I was interested in the girl because when I'm interested in people, I basically go off. The first thing I go off of is their mentality, like the way they think and their maturity level. So I was already. I was interested in the way she like handled handled herself. So then, and plus prior we were already friends, so I already knew her. I already knew how she like handled herself and all of that. So that's what I was attracted to, and then just her personality and the way she was in all. It had nothing to do with my mom, because if I were to go based off my mom, I wouldn't know how to, because although I knew she was into girls, I didn't know like what she was interested in when it came to females. So it was like if I wanted to go based off of what she was doing, I couldn't.
What?
She is blocking my shine.
I moved. Damn. So listen. Watch out. Move. Oh, see? You blocking mine too.
Wait.
Look. God, I'm going to tell you what God loves is the truth. And the truth is we just shouldn't do this in the same frame at the same time. Because look.
Okay. Well, listen.
Okay, come on. Come back.
Or maybe I should just back up. Oh.
You come up. You go up.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay. All right, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay, so what was I gonna say?
You want me to repeat?
So, Kemia, do you like boys? Oh, I'm sorry, Sherry. Let me catch you up. Kemia, this is last year. This happened. Basically, Kemia struggled all summer trying to see what was going on or whatever. I didn't know. She decided she wanted to date a girl. They dated for about 3 months. It didn't work out. Kemia decides girls are not for her. Boom, now you caught up.
Yeah, so I like boys. I actually have a boyfriend right now, so yeah.
She does have a boyfriend. Would you like to tell him his name? I know you want to.
No, I don't actually.
Okay.
I don't know what family members you got on this page from my father's side of the family, and Auntie Pauline, I already want to know. So if I want to find out, that's gonna spread like wildfire. I don't got time for it.
So, yeah. So yeah, she has a boyfriend. She's not into girls. It was an experiment for her, I guess, or is what she thought was. That's what you called it. Mm-hmm. So did you guys ever kiss?
So let me explain that. Okay, so
because I know what you told me. You told me y'all never kissed.
Okay, when I told you that we didn't, but okay, so
wait, what?
When I told you that we didn't,
but I asked you that throughout your.
No, you didn't. You only asked me like once.
Okay.
So with the kissing thing, it was so awkward. They're gonna laugh at me, but it's okay. So
first of all, we're all hearing this story for the first time. Clearly,
exactly. Okay, so it's gonna be funny, right? Okay, so we wanted to.
I really need to light my weed right now. Go ahead. Go.
So we wanted to, and so we were standing there, and she was just looking at me. She was like, "Are you gonna do it?" And I was like, "What? Okay." So she was like, "Are you gonna do it?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know you wanted me to just do it." So I was just like, "Okay." So then like I leaned in, and she was just like, and I was like, and I walked away because it was so
Wait a minute, you walked away? What?
It was awkward. We both walked away. We were just like, okay. And then we turned around and left.
So you never kissed her?
No, because of that one time. And then mind you, she was never there. So I was like, I couldn't even like redeem myself. So you had a failed attempt at a first kiss? With the girl, yeah.
Was that your first kiss?
No.
Period?
No.
You told me.
No. The question was, did you guys kiss? I said no. I never said I never kissed anyone before. That was never said.
So we're finding out other shit for the first time, clearly.
I like these lives. You should invite me more.
Would you guys like to see her more on my live? She just said, I like these lives. You should invite me more. Maybe once a month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like questions.
She likes questions.
I like
Does
questions.
anyone else have any questions for
That'll
Kimia while I light my weed? You can talk. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
that'll challenge my mind. I'm open to anything. I don't have anything to hide.
How you talk like you got a lot of shit to talk about. Like I don't have anything to hide. You're 15. Like what the fuck? Go ahead.
We're not gonna talk about it.
But we are though.
Oh, we are. But to what you just said.
You got a lot to hide from your mama. You got a lot to hide from your mama.
No,
You got a lot to hide from your mama.
I don't.
Please grab one. Somebody needs to be lighting their weed with me. You understand what I'm saying? Cause this is a live discovery or something. So after her, when did you have your first kiss? After Diana?
What do you mean after? You mean before?
No, after. Okay, clearly you had one before. That's okay.
Oh,
That's before clearly my time. Before you was sharing
right.
with me and shit, I guess. Abraham? Okay, your current
You're not
boyfriend.
supposed
Oh shit. I'm sorry.
You see how she did me? Yeah. When we had this ceremony.
You kissed him there?
Okay, yeah. Okay, so
Your granddad was there. Your whole family
no,
was
Mom,
there.
it wasn't there. They let all the kids go to the park.
Oh, okay.
And somebody was like, let's play hide and seek. We dipped.
Except telling your family member who your boyfriend is. I feel the same way. I'm sorry, not sorry.
Okay. And here's why. Okay. So, I know him because his family is like really close friends with my dad's sister.
My family. You could just
My
say your
family, right. So, mind you, these is all the Africans, okay? So,
Oh, tell them where your dad is from in Africa.
oh, right. So my father and all his family came to America from Congo, back in Africa, right? That's not like South Africa, I'm pretty sure.
Central Africa.
Central Africa.
Yeah.
Knew that.
So her
Right.
dad, my husband was born in Congo, which is Central Africa. Okay.
Right.
Go ahead.
So Africans, like, they work the same generally, but they're different. Like, they're different. So, they. I see that.
Oh,
I
okay.
saw
Go
that.
ahead. Okay.
Okay, so when we first like started talking or whatever, we already addressed like, no, we can't tell them. So when we got together, we were like, no, we can't say anything because the Africans, they very suspicious and they're very suspectful. So you could just be sitting there on the couch and I'd be like, make sure y'all not doing nothing. So it's like, if we were to say something, they wouldn't let us like see each other like that. We already know because that's just how it works. Which is why the adults, like, which is why the African adults don't know, but like all the cousins, everybody knows.
So her cousin Kufre, he knows now.
He didn't care.
Okay, listen, let me tell you, she went through something, right? So her boyfriend was like, you can't tell anybody that we talking in your family. You can't tell your cousin Kufre, right? And so she had been keeping it from her cousin, which is her only ally. So her boyfriend's brothers and everybody, they knew.
Kyla and Kara.
And Kara and Kyla, my other two daughters, knew. I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
You told me a long time after you started talking to her.
No, I didn't. I told you like
2 weeks.
No. Yeah, like about a few weeks after.
Okay.
It wasn't.
Okay, it's not important in the grand scheme of the lives. So, I told her. She's telling me in Albertsons one day that she still ain't told her cousin. Meanwhile, this little boy got like hella allies, right? My daughter has no allies when she's alone. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when she's normally with her cousin Kufre, they go over there with their family or whatever. So if she don't tell her cousin, then who is her ally? And I told her, you don't allow him to dictate the course of how you handle business. You don't allow his desires to be more important than yours. it's important that you have allies, right? So that if something happens, you got somebody that got your back all the time. A boy. Kufre is like 6'5", and all boy. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if something went down, she has a protector there. With her listening to how he was doing, what she's telling him by allowing him to dictate how that goes is, his needs are more important than hers. We teach people how to treat us very early on. And if she's already allowing him to dictate who she can tell and who she can't, there's gonna be a problem later on. So I was trying to explain that to her, like, this is not just on some, you better do it because I'm your mama and I tell you. You have to do it because if you do this one thing for him, then if y'all start fucking and he say, just don't tell your mom. You can tell anybody but your mom, or you can tell anybody but da 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 da.
When we do it?
If they start doing it.
Oh, mom, that was just from the start. I was like, yeah, my mom, no, mom's
okay.
Gonna know.
She told him, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a virgin until I get married, until I graduate from high school or some shit like that. She told him, and he like, oh okay, but we all know how little boys are. They don't give a fuck about what you said. His desire is to fuck you. This is what I keep telling you. You keep saying that you are strong enough. You know that you taking it with you, and that's what's up. I appreciate that. I'm telling you that he has different motives than you. You don't live inside his head or know what he's thinking. So I'm always teaching you to protect yourself, right? And teaching him how to treat you. He has to respect your decisions just like you respect his. And these are the conversations that we all need to be having with our daughters. But we will never get an opportunity to have these conversations if we don't make them feel safe enough to come to us. And our sons. I don't have any sons, so I can't speak to sons, but I'm sure they deal with some of the same pressures that daughters deal with. So it's imperative that we provide a safe space that they can vent. A safe space means a space without judgment. It means a space that it offers love and encouragement. And then sometimes encouragement doesn't feel good because it comes with correction, but love covers all of that. And if we say we love our kids, we have to provide a safe space, right? So after that conversation with her, she did tell her cousin, which is great. Her cousin didn't even care.
No, I knew he wouldn't. It's because he was like, so my boyfriend and my cousin, they basically like grew up together, right? So obviously they already have a relationship, like they know how each other work. So my boyfriend was like, I don't think he's gonna accept it. I think he's gonna get upset. And when Cooper gets upset, like he doesn't know how to hide it from Tabula, and Tabula be like, what's wrong? And you know she know how to get it out of you. So he was afraid that if like it wasn't really about him like accepting it, it was mainly just about the adult finding out. So I was just like, okay, but I don't think she's gonna care. He's gonna care. And he was like, nah, I know him. So then I was like, all right, let me just leave it alone because they know each other better than I do. So then my mom told me that, and I was just like, yeah, because he's not about to run me. So I was just like, I'm gonna just tell him. So when I told him, I started off with, what would you do if because he has two brothers that are around the same age as me and my sister. So we're all around the same age. So I was like, what would you do if one of us were to date one of them? And he was like, I wouldn't care. I'd just make fun of you. So I was just like, oh. So I texted my boyfriend and I was like, I'm going to tell him because he said he doesn't care. And he was like, okay, go ahead and do it. And if he said no, I was going to tell him either way because
Raven says, little boys get into relationships in hopes to hit. It's all comfortability. Once you kiss and get comfy, it all leads to something, typically. And I'm not saying that that's going to be your destiny. I'm not saying that that's your future. I'm saying I'm going to always keep you on guard.
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm going to always keep you ready. And, okay, I'm going to tell you what else I told her. And before I tell you this, listen, judge me. Judge me as a mom. I'm cool with it. So, this is what I told my baby. I said, so when you feel like you are wanting to have sex, I want you to come to me and tell me, okay, mom, I think I'm ready to have sex. It's my job to talk you out of that shit or to try, right? So I am going to give you all of the reasons why I think it is not the best decision for your life right now. If for whatever reason, after that conversation, if you had time to think you still gonna do it. Because here's the truth. I'm gonna tell you what God loves is the truth. Here's what's true. We are going to do whatever the fuck we want to do. Starting from a kid all the way up to an adult. When I was a teenager, I did what the fuck I wanted to do, regardless of what my mom said. Okay? So, I want to be an ally for my child and put them in the best position to win in life. So after that conversation, if she decides that she's still gonna fuck, I want her to come to me and say, Mom, I know you talked to me about it, and I know that you said it's not a good idea, but Mom, I think I'm still gonna do it. That will give me the opportunity to say, okay, let me make sure you're protected, right? Not just that, but let me show you what to look for. Let me let you know if it's uncircumcised and it got this kind of stench, run. Let me let you know that if it is circumcised, but it's a little bump or something like that, it's a bump, run. If he is not treating you how you feel instinctively that you should be feeling, run. I want to be able to put her in the best position to win in life. And that includes sex. Because it's a part of their lives at this point, and there's nothing we can do about it. Nothing. We can pray. Right? Our parents prayed for us. Right? So what I'm trying to get all of us to understand is life is real and it is 24/7. And the things that we went through as children, our children are going through it. However, they're going through it with more tools than us because they got their phones and Google. So anything that you don't want to tell them, Google will tell them. Or they friends. And they friends might not have the best information. I've talked to my kid about everything. She says if you can't look at it and feel on it, you shouldn't do it. Period. If you want to keep the lights off, there's a problem. These are things that... Are you uncomfortable?
No.
Okay.
I'm just listening.
I just want to make sure.
I'm just listening.
Okay. Yeah. So, this is all I'm saying. As parents, we have to be comfortable having this kind of dialogue with our children. We have to be comfortable and ready for what they might say. We have to be ready to receive their experiences, not as our own though, but as guides to help them process the things that are happening in their lives, not ours. If your kid decides to do some shit, that's that kid's life. It's not your own life personally. It's your job as a parent to guide them and make sure that they're making the best decisions for the things that, are needing to be done. Yeah, she said it. Fuck her. Fuck you. Okay? Judge me. Judge me. I bet you my kid ain't out here pregnant.
No.
I bet you my kid ain't out here hopefully trying. I'm trying to get my kid to not be in a position where she have sex, right? And like right now she takes all honors and AP classes, right? So let's say next year she decides that she's going to have sex, which is something that is outside of my control and outside of your control as parents, guys. Okay, so let's say she decides that she's going to have sex, so she has sex. Let's say she has a great experience, right? Now, when she has to study for her AP exam, she's thinking about that dick. She's not thinking about the exam. Her mind is focused on other things, because she's not old enough to have balance yet. So although her body is ready, right? Maturity-wise, she not ready, right? So it's like, these are the reasons why I tell her not to do it. Not for some Bible thumping stuff, because we all heard the same scriptures coming up, and our parents heard the scriptures too. So we have to be real with our kids and practical. and giving them practical information as to why they shouldn't do a thing. Because if we just say it's not good for you, they're going to be like, fuck that. I'll find out for my own life what's good for me, right? But if you explain to them why in the terms that I just said, as opposed to some other watered down bullshit, then they're more able to relate, because that's how they talk with their friends. They're not talking with their friends on some other shit, right? So Marvinia said, I'm down with it. I'm open and honest with my girls. Nothing's off the table. And you got 4 daughters. 4 daughters, right?
Listen,
right.
I'm stopping at 2, but if I have 3, cool. 3 is the limit. I can't.
Who's having 3 kids?
I'm not. I'm just saying.
Don't have fucking 3 kids.
I just said that I'm not.
Okay, cool. Don't do that.
You didn't you took it out of context of what I just said.
Yeah. Age appropriate, of course. Yes, ma'am. I agree with that. You know. So I just feel like the quicker we learn that these kids are smarter than us, the better we'll get. The better things will be. The better we will be as parents. They have access to more knowledge than us, and they are taking the opportunity to learn everything that they can about that which they are interested in. It's 12-year-olds making hundreds of thousands of dollars right now because they have access to knowledge. And for you to think that your kid is going to be satisfied with some just don't do it type shit, you're wrong. If you think your kids are going to be satisfied with what the Bible says about sex, you're wrong. Because the Bible ain't going to stop it when they pussy get wet. I'm sorry for being vulgar, but think about this. If your child has menstruation, right? If she's already started her cycle, then when we as adults PMS and we get horny, we tend to think that our kids don't live in the same bodies. Like they get horny too. How are you teaching them how to hold themselves? Because see, our parents didn't teach us. They told us to pray. They told us to read the Bible. They did. So when you went to do whatever the fuck you wanted to do, you didn't care about the Bible. Do you understand? The Bible didn't stop shit in that time. So what I'm saying is, in this time, we know it didn't stop anything for us. So we need to be more practical with our seed, so we can put our seed in a good position, right? So we need to, come up with practical things that our kids can do to preserve themselves from making decisions that they shouldn't be making, right? It's okay to talk to your kids about masturbation. Remember when we had that live about masturbation? Y'all was talking to me like I was crazy, especially the guys. Was like, nah, I ain't talking to my kid about that. You better talk to him, because I promise you somebody's talking to him about it. Am I lying?
What?
Do y'all talk about that kind of stuff? You and your friends? Or have y'all?
Not all of them. It's,
But you got 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So your kids always got 1 or 2 people at school that they can talk to about anything. They besties, they close friends, or whatever the fuck. Or just that one friend that they go to and they want to talk about sex. Everybody got a friend that they know is fast as fuck. Not fast, let me not say that. I really hate that connotation, so I apologize for using it. Everybody knows that their kid has a friend that is more experienced sexually than they are. And they know who it is. Don't you have a friend? I know you do. I don't need to know who it is.
No, I have a couple.
A couple?
Yeah.
Really? Get the charger out of my phone. But they all have a friend that they can go to and talk about sex whenever they want. And so for us to think that just because we're not having a conversation, we think that it's not happening, I just think we're fooling ourselves. And I think that it's foolish to think that just because our kids are in church, that they not having these conversations, because sometimes they having them in the back of the church.
They be the church ones.
So we just have to be very careful. Also, I'm going to reiterate this again, because this is what stopped the conversation between me and Kimia last year. Parents, be careful what you say in front of your kids, even in jest. Be careful what you say in front of your kids when it's just your opinion. Be careful what you say in front of your kids, because they're listening to you. Even when you feel like they're not, they're listening to you. They are basing what they're going to do in their lives off of the conversations that they hear us have, that they hear you have when you don't think that they hear you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I brought her, this was a joint live because I thought that it was important. Not just because of the inbox that I received. Well, yeah, because of that. But also because sometimes parents need to hear the kids' version of things, the kids' point of view of certain things, so they can see how they can best serve their children. Sometimes you need to hear it from another kid, because hearing it from your kid obviously ain't working. There are some things I have to hear from other kids, and it's unfortunate, right? So I hope this served a purpose for you guys. I want to thank my baby for coming on the live with me. I appreciate you. Thank you, baby.
Yeah.
And I'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget to share this live on your page. I believe it's very informative. I believe it'll help a lot of the parents. And again, until next time, I'm MeannaDK, and I love y'all. I swear I do. This is the ending of my video. Oh, thank y'all for watching.